Oh my God. If you took out PPP loan during COVID, stop and watch this video. You are in big trouble. I just went to the quietest location of Chase that I normally go to check on my investments. I was checking on my stocks, seeing how my money is doing, because, you know, you got to take care of your money, honey. You got to nurture it. And I was talking to my financial advisor, and there was just so much commotion in there. I mean, it was like insane. I was like, what's going on? This is like the quietest Chase ever. No, like no one comes here. That's why I come here, because you guys know I hate people when people give me anxiety. And he told me the feds are here. I was like, huh? Like, it's like, yeah, those people that you're looking at, they're all feds. SBA? I was like, why? He's like, oh, they just subpoenaed us. Subpoenaed you for what? He's like, they subpoenaed us for people who took up PPP loan and deposited it into their Chase account. We have to turn over their license, their account, and also like footages of when they deposited that money into their account. I was like, why now? Why are they coming for everybody now who took a PPP loan? He's like, because the economy is so bad. And the only way to turn an American economy around is free labor. And the only way free labor works is we send people to prison so they can work for free in federal prison. And so half of America is going to go to prison in the next 4 or 5 years. And they're going to be serving at least 10, 15 years in prison. Let me tell you guys, I keep telling you, do not commit fraud. Financial literacy allows you to bend the law. It allows you to twist it. It allows you to yank it around, but you never commit fraud. My dad growing up used to say to us, whenever the federal government or the government in general offers you free money, never take it. Because there's always stipulations and there's always a reason why they're offering that money. Never take it. Never take food stamps. Never take help from the government. Don't take handouts from the government ever. It's never free. Never. So I ask, like, what can people do to beat the charges? Like, what are they going to do? Is like, you need to call your accountant if you took a PPP loan and get that money, figure out a way to get that money, whatever money you took out, hand it to your accountant, have that accountant contact a lawyer on your behalf and start negotiating with the feds immediately on how you can pay it back. You have to pay that money back. Period. They're going to find out regardless if you had employees, if you used it to buy a car, if you used it to pay off debt, especially, because they will find that easily. They're going to find out whatever you use that money for. And if it's not for your employees, because that's what it was for, you will be facing federal charges. Period. For them to subpoena JP Morgan, and come in there physically to collect evidence. And remember, if the feds are in your business and they're already digging through your business, they already have the information. They already have it before they charge you. They're just looking for more evidence. They already have whatever they need over you. Anyway, I'm not saying snitch, but they're also offering rewards. If you know anyone who took a PPP loan and you want to snitch on them, the feds will give you a check. Like, this is insane. I'm like shaking. It's so crazy too, because at the time when my friends, and I remember when those two girls took out their PPP loan, one of them got 47,000, the other one got like 65,000. Neither one of them had an employee. And I had a full team during COVID, but I worked during COVID. I worked the whole time and God blessed me. I made the most money of my life during COVID. But I remember then even they would like make fun of me, like, Nika, just take out the PPP loan. It's free money. It's free money. And I would say, nothing in America is free. Nothing in America is free. And I did not take that money. I did not take that money. Wow. It was like I was just covered. Like everyone around me was doing it and I refused to do it. I'm so blessed. The chances of you not facing charges if you took out that loan is slim to none, because they're not going after the politicians who took out the loan. They're not going after the top 1% that took out the loan. They need you, the poor people, to do free labor. So they're coming after you. My heart breaks for all of you, truly.
I cannot make this up. I need somebody to catch this in the spirit, okay? I was offered the PPP loan years ago for my company, but I did not qualify. However, there were so many people that were like tweaking the numbers and switching one number around to make that number say that number, and all of a sudden you approve. It was just a push of a button that I would have been approved. It was just a push of a button that I would have had $20,000 in my early stages of growing my company. I turned it down. Now, when I said, no, thank you, I'm good. I'm just going to keep glory to God. I'm just going to keep building the business the right way. I know that, the $20,000 will help with a kiddo in this split second, but I feel like I should just keep working hard despite me not having all the finances I needed at the moment. I kid you not. Glory to God. 3 weeks later, I get an email saying that I won $20,000 in a sweepstakes that I never signed up for. The fact that I was always working with my father and the fact that I knew that he always had me regardless of what my circumstances was looking like. The overflow kept following me. I didn't have to work for money. I could turn down opportunities. I can turn down money. I can turn down people who want to invest in my company just because they know where it's headed. I can turn these things down knowing that I'm partnered with my father who is everything that I need. God is watching your every single movement. Every moment was a test. And I'm looking back on everything. Everything was a test. Everything was a test to see if I trusted my father or had faith in my father. I chose my father, which is why I'm walking right into the greatest season of my life. My dreams are coming true right now. I'm like literally walking in it. It's like happening and I'm not even doing anything. I'm just being obedient every day to what he's saying.
I need to be a worse person. What the actual fuck do you mean that you fraudulently applied for PPP loans and you got them? You actually got $80,000 from the government, which is most likely taxpayer money. So these loans were our taxes. And you don't have a business, and now you're crying on TikTok because you are about to get arrested because the government is enforcing this stuff as of the last year and a half. What the actual fuck do you mean you got the money? I would have thought that apply, no, you don't qualify, and then the feds come to my house and put me in jail because I applied for that. The actual fuck do you mean? Multiple people got this money.
Did you know while millions of Americans struggled during the pandemic, the people in Congress who owned businesses took out PPP loans? And now I'm going to give you a detailed report. This is going to be my series on Congress and what kind of loans they took out. So let's start with Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, that happy, fun-loving woman. She took out a lot of money. She makes $174,000 a year. So that's what she makes. So she takes home $3,000 and something every week before taxes. She took out so many loans. I couldn't even write them all down. Each in increments of 20,000. And she waited a couple days, do another 10,000. It's like crazy. Her family owns a construction company that makes anywhere between $1 and $10 million a year. But she needed this money. She just had to have it. All right. We got Matt Gaetz. Oh, he's another one. So he took out loans for his business, family business, $476,000. That's almost $500,000. Don't get that. He says his dental business makes $170K a year. And he needed $476,000. Okay. And he makes $174,000. Just want to get that straight. Greg Pence only took out $79,000 for his family business. Oh, here's a good one. Vern Buchanan. He took out, are you all ready? $2.8 million for his car dealership. That makes, are you ready? Over $1 billion a year. He has 18 car dealerships. I don't know. I'm putting the link for the ProPublica PPP loan tracker in the comments. Check it out. It's just kind of fun to know, who are these people? Why are they taking this money? And do they really need it? It's just a bunch of malarkey. Let's see. Tracker will be down in the comments. Run some names in there. Run your name in there. Did you take out a loan? Were you honest?
I'm a nurse practitioner and I was just released from federal prison. A mistake was made on the application. I didn't read, I just signed it. And as a result, I lost it all. It cost me everything.
So this is Melissa Watson, and she spent a year and a day in the federal penitentiary for taking the government's money and getting a fraudulent provider relief loan during COVID. So this will happen in Melissa Watson's case. Since she was taking too long to give us the story time, she basically spent 12 months and 1 day in federal prison due to fraudulent use of provider relief funds. So what this is basically PPP funds for people that had like provider care units or some type of hospital, something that was helping the people hospital related. So she received $789,000 that was supposed to be for her, healthcare facility to keep it operating during the time, help her get supplies and things. But instead, per the affidavit, sis was out here spending the money on luxury cars, on trips, on a timeshare, on a trailer, on real estate, all of this, but not on her patient care facility that she had. As a result, she had to spend a year and 1 day in jail. She's out now on 3-year probation and has to pay back over $1 million for fraudulent use of the government funds. They coming to get y'all for this PPP money. Y'all think it's a game. One thing the government can do is come and get their money now. They may think that they didn't forget about you, but they could come get their money and take your ass to jail.
My coworker got fired for getting the PPP loan. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I saw a girl's video saying that she just had her case with the feds regarding getting the PPP loan, like lying on the application, and she got sentenced to 9.5 years. 9.5 years. And I saw other people in the comments saying that they're going through their case. I saw somebody else say that they got sentenced for wire fraud. And these people are not playing. They are not playing, and banks are assisting. They are assisting in the process. As somebody who works in banking, who's worked in multiple different banks, the banks help the IRS. But let me tell y'all what happened with my coworker. So this is my coworker that turned into a friend. So I had already left the company by the time that she got fired. But ultimately what happened was, this was 2022. The list came out of everybody who had got the PPP loan. She obviously was on that list. And she ended up in HR. Clearly the bank was looking at the list. Not my current job, y'all. Again, this is a company that I left. So don't call them people again, please. But she ended up in a meeting with HR. They asked her like, oh, you were on this list, you have a business. And basically there was a date that your business had to be established to qualify for the PPP loan. And a lot of people created LLCs after that date. And that's how they know if your application was fraudulent. And so they told her like, I don't think that you qualified for this PPP loan based on when you established your business or whatever. But she didn't admit to anything. And her business was selling handmade jewelry, right? So the reason why they were able to fire her is because if you've ever worked for a bank, a financial institution, a brokerage, you have to disclose all outside business activities. It's regulatory. You have to sign off that you will disclose anything, any second job, any second source of income. If you're a part of the board of directors for any type of company, nonprofit, sometimes even volunteer work, you have to disclose it so that the bank can make sure it's not a conflict of interest. So basically they fired her because they said that her not disclosing that she had a business was violating company policy, because she should have told them. And I'm sure y'all are going to say, well, she should have told them that, she stopped the business when she started working. I guess whenever she established it, she had already started working there. So like the days just didn't line up. But yeah, they fired her and said that it was because she didn't disclose that she had a business. But if she had disclosed that she had a business, it wouldn't have been a conflict of interest for her to sell handmade jewelry. They fired her because of that PPP loan. And that was just their excuse. So be careful, y'all. They are coming.
The amount of people getting locked up for the PPP loan scams is crazy. There was a girl that got like 9 years over like 100-something thousand in PPP loan scams. There are a lot of businesses, a lot of people with LLCs that fraudulently obtained a lot of those funds, and they're not in jail, and they've gotten a lot of those things forgiven. If y'all remember, when the government was pumping money into the economy back in like 2020 and 2021, the resale market for stuff was going insane. Like sneakers were crazy, watches were absolutely insane. There's this guy, Anthony Ferrer, and he owned like a luxury resale watch store because of like the PPP loan scam, as well as so much money being pumped into the economy. He was selling watches like crazy. He was bringing in a ton of revenue. What do they say? More money, more problems. I was living in Dallas and moved to LA, got $100,000 a month penthouse. Within a year, everything imploded. He was scamming his consignment customers, taking their watches, running a Ponzi scheme, taking those watches to pay off other loans. Now bro is serving like 10 years. That's all because of fraud. I don't even think they've brought up any of the PPP stuff. He might owe stuff on that too.
The FBI is arresting thousands of people right now that took out PPP loans. Let me explain. During COVID, the US government put out a program to help small businesses pay payroll. The money did get dropped into your bank account and people were using it for not the correct purpose. But that's the small issue. The big issue was how easy it was to get this money. The entire application was, what is your name? Do you have a business? No verification, no one following up, and a few days later, $10,000 just dropped into your bank account. People were taking out these $10,000 free money loans, meaning they never had to pay them back, even if they didn't have a business. The FBI is actively issuing thousands, if not tens of thousands of arrest warrants for people that took out these loans for free money. The only people safe here are the legitimate businesses that took out the money and used the money correctly. Everyone that thought they got the $10,000, I'd be waiting because they're coming.
Story time about how I went to prison for getting a goddamn PPP loan. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from the beginning when I got indicted. It was March 15, 2023. Me and my husband had just left from going out to eat because my son recently had like a kidney surgery or whatever, and we had been in the house. We've kind of been stressing and whatever. We sitting in the car chilling, and a car pull up, and my husband like, who the fuck this is pulling up in my yard? I'm like, I don't know. Shit, you know how they be tripping. You know them young niggas be paranoid. I look at my husband, he look at me. Shit just started getting weird. Okay, then after that, they come to my door and they give me a piece of paper. They say, oh, you just got a PPP loan. You're just going to have to pay it back. I opened up the goddamn envelope and it say, Samarian Kingston versus the United States of America. I could have lost my motherfucking mind. Mind you, I have a real business. I'm a hairstylist, so all I do is go to work and go the fuck home. So I'm like, what the fuck? That was literally like the worst day of my fucking life because I was so scared and I didn't know what to do. And then me, like, I always try to do the right thing and, like, you know, not get into any trouble, and I got in fucking trouble. And every fucking body did it. So I'm like, why the fuck I'm getting in trouble? You know, like, that shit had really pissed me off. So I ended up going to court and finding out that it's a whole fucking conspiracy case with 23 other people that I don't even fuck with. I was scared as fucking court. Didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. But I ended up getting a little bun. So I was able